when the season was about to start, we were all looking at the fixtures. We're looking at the fixtures to plan for our game week 1 teams, and we've gone 7 game weeks, and we want to look whether um the fixtures that we used in planning the first 6 7 fixtures were actually a good determinant of how we should have built our game week one teams. Yes. So in watching this video, if you are watching this video with us today, you can type in the comment section, or you can type in the live chat session, and tell us. Look, we all had this template, and we all had this template of which teams had a very good run and which teams to target um moving into the season. We said that Everton had quite very good fixtures. We were targeting Dominic Calvert-Lewin, Lucas Digne in there. Some were even targeting Richarlison in there. With Brighton was in defense. Sanchez in goal. Duffy, Veltman, yes, Dunk, yes. And it looks like Duffy has actually been very good. He has been one of the go-to budget defenders in FPL. Duffy is now 4.3. Duffy is now 4.3, means that he's had a 0.3 price rise this season, and that's a testament to how good Duffy has been so far this season. So then for Liverpool, we said the Liverpool guys. I think we had the Liverpool one spot on. So Trent Alexander-Arnold, Mohamed Salah have really proved that our planning with the fixtures was actually very good, to go very heavy on them. As Watford has disappointed in a certain extent defensive wise, because from our championship review we realized that Watford was very good defensive, but they haven't really done too well defensively. I think Ismail Assar, as a midfielder, really proved quite good as that budget 6.0 price. So I think with the Watford 1-2, we had that okay there. In Manchester United, we had Bruno Fernandes then. As at then, Cristiano Ronaldo had not arrived in EPL. So we had Fernandes, Luke Shaw, and there were some thoughts on Greenwood. I think Greenwood did his work in the first 3 weeks and then went off the radar since Ronaldo came. I think in Ronaldo's first game, he had an assist in there, but after that, we haven't had much from Greenwood. So, but Bruno did his work before Ronaldo came. And since Ronaldo came, Bruno's output has come down a bit. Although Bruno has scored since Ronaldo returned. The only sad news was when Man United had a penalty against Aston Villa, and then Bruno took it. Surprisingly, when everybody thought Ronaldo was going to take it, and Bruno skied it up there. I think people have even made stickers out of that. So very interesting there. Yes, and Leicester, I think in Leicester was a Nacho, Harvey Barnes, Madison, Jamie Vardy was one we actually weren't looking up to. Most of us as managers weren't looking up to. I think because of his price of 10.5. But I think if we actually went Jamie Vardy on the benefit of hindsight, it would have really helped, because Vardy has scored quite very well in the period ahead of us in FPL this season. So thumbs up to Jamie Vardy there. I think our attention was more on trying to free up front. Nacho was not able to get Nacho was not able to get the starting spot for Leicester in the Harvey Barnes was in my team, was in some people's teams. He never really scored till gave us any returns till we moved him out of our team, and then he gave 1 or 2 assists in there. West Ham. I think I don't know why West Ham was. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So West Ham was among after the first. Everton rank 1, Brighton, Liverpool, Watford in the second position, tied at second position. West Ham has really been the really go-to team budget wise. Mikel Antonio hitting in there. We talked about Mikel Antony. I think Mikel Antony was and then side Benrahma. Benrahma has proven to be a player most people were not looking up to. He did well in preseason. Some managers were doubting his ability. But let's not forget, Benrahma was Championship best player last season, 3 seasons ago, and West Ham bought him. And West Ham bought him in January. He wasn't able to really acclimatize to West Ham, but I think now having had the proper full preseason, he has been able to adapt, and it thumbs up to David Moyes. He's doing quite a very good work at West Ham this year. Then Aston Villa. So in Aston Villa, the tag on the Watkins, and then when Watkins had the injury, we had to move to Danny Ings, which was quite a very good move there. Danny Ings really paid managers their dividends for that. They had a very first 3 very good fixtures in there, and then that really helped as managers used it, and they had to return from Danny Ings. But the other fixtures, the difficult fixtures in Chelsea, Everton, and then Manchester United were quite tricky as we predicted. So if you hopped on Danny Ings, that was quite a very good. So just trying to say that FPL is played by fixtures. So those who are making the decision between Ronaldo and Lukaku are now whether to go Ronaldo, whether to go Lukaku. The fixtures are saying that Lukaku's fixtures are better than Ronaldo. Although Ronaldo is a super player, he can give you a goal or two there, but they're looking at which of them can give you better returns. And with the Chelsea team, you are most assured that Lukaku will get more returns against his opposition as compared to Ronaldo. So if we are hopping off from Ronaldo to Lukaku, make them move. Don't think too much about it in there. So Aston Villa and then Brentford. Now Brentford had a very good game week 1 against Arsenal to open the Premier League. Gave us now 2 goals there. We're all surprising there, but the only sad thing was Ivan Toney didn't score. Ivan Toney didn't score game week 1, game week 2, game week 3. I think he scored around game week 4. By then, some managers had a lot of patience and sold him, and Ivan Toney, since people started selling him, is scoring. If you still have Ivan Toney in your team, please don't sell him, because Brentford are about to move on a very good set of fixtures in the next 5 to 6 game weeks. So please don't sell him. If you sold him, you can buy him back, because sometimes you need that amount of money. As of now in the FPL landscape, as managers, you are looking at how to go with the 3 premiums. Are you going with Salah, Ronaldo, Lukaku? To me, I think that the next premium to watch out is Kevin De Bruyne. I've said it. Or some are even going with Son. Heung-min Son is doing well at Spurs, even though the Spurs team is not playing so well. So that is in there. Our viewers in the live chat and the comment section, you can just give us a thought on whether you think your planning with the fixtures based on the first fixtures really helped you or not. Where we as FPL managers we are called to give priority to these players from Everton, Brighton, Liverpool, Watford, Manchester United, Leicester, and West Ham. A very good call, or we missed the call in there. I think Aston Villa. So we've talked about. Yes, Quipra. Yes, you're asking where are the rest. Rowland is caught up with a very technical challenge. Rowland is caught up in traffic. He has not been able to get to, but we are hoping that by the end of the show he would have been able to join us. Marlvin is off duty today, but he sent all his slides and everything that we need. We need for today's show in there. So and Wolves were really a bit disappointed. Okay, we were expecting that Wolves in the had 3 very good difficult pitches. So the plan was that we'll hop on to Wolves in the next 3 games. So Watford, Brentford, and then Bournemouth. But in those games, Wolves did not necessarily score goals. When they started scoring goals, it wasn't Jimenez that was scoring. I think it was Marcel, and then the other players were scoring. They were not scoring. But I think in game week 6 and 7, Wolves seems to have found their scoring boats as well. So I think in the first half, the teams in here, I think we had Everton on point. Calvert-Lewin gave their points in the first 3 game weeks before he got injured, and Brighton to the Brighton defense was a very good call there. I think as FPL managers make that very good call there. Liverpool top notch. Liverpool over there. Liverpool are playing a very high attacking game with very good shots, a high XG. If you don't have, I don't know. Somebody was saying something yesterday. I said also on Twitter scouting for some information. Somebody was saying that Salah is owned by about 60% of managers. and these salaries own about 60% of managers. The other 40% of FPL managers, what are they thinking? How can you not own Mohamed Salah in the game? But some people are not owning Mohamed Salah in there. So that is it there. I think Man U too made a good call there. Leicester was where Jamie Vardy swerved us there. So I think they made that West Ham Antonio Benrahma to the call was very good. I think it was in defense. Always looking at Cresswell and Kufal, the West Ham defense is not too good because they are playing a very attacking football, but their defense is quite not the best there. And Aston Villa, for the first 3 games, you said their defense was good to watch. Martinez and then the other ones, but I think that was also quite good there. Brentford have started proving their worth as we expect of them. So now we said that these teams were the teams that were to a certain extent were supposed to avoid. Newcastle were quite okay. We said that you could go with Callum Wilson in there, but Callum Wilson has been injured, and then now we have Alan and Maximan doing quite a good work there. So managers with these teams, which of do you think that we made a very good call? These were the teams we're supposed to avoid. We're supposed to avoid Man City. There were those in red with a red total of 20 going. So we're supposed to avoid Man City, Tottenham, Arsenal, Leeds, Crystal Palace, Chelsea, Southampton, Norwich in the first 6 game weeks. In our game week 1, we weren't expecting to have these teams. Did we make a good call with the benefits of hindsight? Do you think we made a very good call in saying that these teams were supposed to be avoided in the very few games to start the season? Okay, so looking there, I think Newcastle was quite okay. Wilson gave some returns before he went, but not really the best there. Burnley have really been very disappointing because normally we go to Burnley for defensive point, but Burnley have not necessarily kept any very good clean sheets. So the call was good to avoid some Burnley players because they didn't have quite well. It is Man City that has been very tricky. Now, with Man City, if you look at game week 2, they were facing Norwich. So the plan was that you get a City attacker in your game week 1 team, and we were not expecting them to really excel too well against Tottenham. And then in game week 2, they would be able to hit. Now, someone like me, I went Mahrez. Because of that, I bought in Mahrez, looking at how he played in the Community Shield game against Leicester. I got in Mahrez, and Mahrez necessarily was not able to give me the points in Norwich because Pep benched him. The Pep roulette came. Pep Guardiola. Some others went for Ferran Torres, who hit a hat trick in there. Others had Jack Grealish, 100 million Jack Grealish as well. But I think City have really proved to us that when it comes to fixtures, the big teams are looking more like fixture proof. Because City's defense has been able to keep a clean sheet. They kept 5 clean sheets in the first 6 games. Except against Tottenham was the game they conceded. Now, it is just to inform us that when it comes to the big teams, we are doing quite some review as FPL managers. When it comes to the big teams like Chelsea and City, especially with their defense, because they are able to overpower and outplay teams, their defense are fixture proof. It's only an attack that is a bit cautious. Attack that is a bit cautious, when you can't tell which player will be able to hit in there as well. And Spurs, we avoided Spurs, but I think Human Son actually showed that he actually started showing signs in preseason that Son was the guy to go. I know one of my mates, Sam Kwashi at my colleagues at work, Sam Kwashi went with Son, and then Son was able to give him the returns in the first 3 games. Well done then. Arsenal was a team to avoid. Arsenal had not won a game in the first because they faced Brentford, Chelsea, and Man City as predicted. But I think from game week 4 coming, they have been able to give us some quite very good, some quite good returns there. They've given us the budget options to have. So we have Odegaard, Emil Smith Rowe, and then Saka to help managers to be able to save money for their teams as well. Pepra, how do you see these things? Did we make a good call there in avoiding this team? So you said avoid Crystal Palace. I think Crystal Palace Gallagher has shown something, but it's not consistent per se. And Chelsea in there too was avoid for the very first game, but Tuchel has really done a very good work to be able to have Chelsea on top of the table as of now. and the Chelsea defense has surprised us. With James did and got injured. Alonso, we're all surprised Alonso hit, and now Alonso has been benched. Looks like Chilwell, but the Chelsea defense is looking quite good there. I think it was to avoid per se. Others avoid Lukaku. Lukaku returned in the game against Arsenal and the game against Arsenal, against Aston Villa. Since then, he hasn't returned again. So, not buying Lukaku was quite a good call there. Southampton too, yeah. It's just that Liverpool has shown quite a very good point there. And then Norwich, we said avoid Norwich. So that's tell about us that with the benefit of hindsight, I think our score was at 80%. Our planning with the fixtures for the first 6 game weeks, I think it's 80%. So that is just to inform all of us that as we when next season starts, next season 2022-2023 season starts, when we are planning our game week 1 team, the focus should be on the first 6 fixtures. Try and target players. Normally, don't just target any set of players. We target proven players. So players who are proven to have been able to make it. Like Mohamed Salah is a no-brainer. So you look at if you looked in here, we knew that the big team was Liverpool and Man U. So you need to have a Liverpool attacker and a Man U attacker, a Liverpool defender and a Man U. Just that Man U defender. Only that Luke Shaw has disappointed us this year, and then get the budget players in the other teams as well. So this is just a review of how game week the first 6 to 7 game weeks has gone in FPL. Whether as managers, with the benefit of hindsight, we're able to make a good call on how to start the season. But